Hello everyone. Today I'm going to explain the difference between Driver Inc. and payroll and help you understand which one is better for drivers and carriers in 2025. If you work in trucking, you've definitely heard about Driver Inc. and you've probably seen people argue about which model is right. So let's break it down simply and clearly. Driver Inc. is a system where a truck driver sets up a corporation and gets paid as an independent contractor instead of being treated as an employee. That means the company doesn't deduct taxes, CPP, or EI from your paycheck. Instead, you invoice the carrier like a business each week. Many drivers like Driver Inc. because the take home pay looks higher and you can write off expenses like meals, phone bills, and more. You also have more flexibility and, in some cases, more control over how you manage your income. But Driver Inc. also comes with risks. Since you're not an employee, you don't get employment protections. You don't get EI unless you pay into it yourself. You don't get CPP unless you contribute. You don't get overtime, paid vacation, or termination protection. On top of that, the Canadian government has been cracking down heavily on misclassification. If the CRA decides that you're basically working like an employee, they can reassess your taxes and the company can get fined. So while Driver Inc. can give a higher pay upfront, it also brings higher legal and financial risk, especially if you're not managing your taxes properly. Now let's talk about payroll. Payroll is a traditional system where the driver is a full employee of the carrier. The company deducts income tax, CPP, and EI automatically. You get a T4 at the end of the year, and you're covered by employment laws. You get benefits like overtime where applicable, paid holidays, workplace insurance coverage, and you're eligible for employment insurance if you lose your job or take time off. Payroll gives stability, legal protection, and it's much easier for things like getting a mortgage or loan because your income looks stable and official. The downside of payroll is that your net pay is usually a little lower compared to Driver Inc. because deductions are taken at the source. You also have fewer tax write offs and less flexibility in how you structure your income. But overall, payroll is the safest option and the most compliant with government regulations. In Canada, if your driver is working full time for one company, following their schedules, using their truck, and taking their instructions, then the government considers that person an employee, even if they have a corporation. This is why the CRI has been doing more audits and why many carriers and drivers have faced penalties. This trend is continuing into 2025, so it's important to understand the risks before choosing Driver Inc. So, which model is better? It depends on your goals. If you're a new driver or someone who wants long term stability, payroll is usually the better choice. If you're experienced, disciplined with your taxes, and acting like a true contractor, Driver Inc. can give higher income but also higher risk. The key question you must ask yourself is: am I prepared to handle the tax responsibilities and the potential risks that come with being a contractor? In summary, payroll offers safety and stability. Driver Inc. offers more money upfront, but with more responsibility and risk. Choose a model that fits your situation, your financial discipline, and your long term plans. If you found this helpful, make sure you like the video, leave your questions in the comments, and subscribe for more trucking and dispatch insights. Thanks for watching.